beautiful lovelies, it's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today we're going to be testing out the entire cucumber recipe. Now it's not exactly a recipe because there's so many, it's more of a technique, and I'm very curious about it because I am not a cucumber lover. It's actually one of the few things that I don't particularly love. I don't dislike it, I just don't love it. In my older days, I would have picked them out. Now I eat them, I enjoy their crunch. But something about their flavor, I don't really love. Same thing goes with watermelon. I think watermelon is a sweeter version of cucumber, honestly. But this recipe by Logan Moffat, or these recipes / techniques by Logan Moffat over on TikTok, has taken over. Everyone loves them, they love him, and the process looks pretty interesting. I'm here to test to see if this method will convert me into a cucumber lover. Now, I'm intrigued for a number of reasons. Number one, the method of preparing everything in one container and shaking it up makes it easy, fewer dishes to wash, like the convenience. The combination of ingredients sound tasty and delicious, but the one that I'm most interested about is the addition of MSG. Stinking delicious, I use it all the time, and that's what I suspect is going to make this taste absolutely delicious. All the recipes, in fact, because that's what MSG does. It makes everything delicious and tasty and just scrumdiddlyumptious and addictive and salty, savory, fantastic. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and see if it rings true. So Logan shares many different cucumber recipes. It is pretty apparent that he has a deep affection for cucumbers. And the one I'm going to be testing is the everything bagel one. That sounds absolutely delicious, and it has some of the most views. We're going to start with Logan's line. Sometimes you need to eat an entire cucumber. Look at this cucumber. This is an English cucumber. These tend to have thinner skins. They are longer than the typical cucumber and narrower as well. But the thin skin is great. It makes them less tough. If you have one of the fatter varieties, I would suggest using a vegetable peeler to remove some of that peel so it's not so tough. The other thing that Logan uses is a mandolin. I happen to have one of these. It's a slicer. If you don't have one of these, don't let that stop you from eating an entire cucumber. You can just use a knife, but you won't be able to do it over the jar like it is demonstrated in the videos, which isn't necessary, but it is effective in terms of a visual draw into your video, right? The recipes are usually made over a plastic quart container. I do not have one, but I do have a glass quart container. Love reusing jars. I believe this had kimchi in it, but love it. It should be of the right size. It doesn't quite look like this will fit into this, but it should, at least most of it. Someone is taking down a downed tree, so if you hear any grinding, that's some stump grinding stuff happening nearby. Okay, this mandolin is a benri. Can you see it? Benri in Japanese means convenient, so it is convenient slicer. I just happen to have one of these. I like it to shred cabbage, but this blade is incredibly sharp. So if you're not used to using one of these, I would suggest using a glove or the included guard. So I think in this case, we're not going to be using the entire cucumber, so our fingers should be safe. I've never used my mandolin to slice a cucumber, so let's see how benri or convenient it is. Oh yeah, working great. I believe Logan does his a little thicker, so I'm going to adjust this by turning this dial down and cutting them a little thicker. So one thing I noticed in these videos is that shaking can be a little bit of an issue because it's so full of cucumbers. So I'm going to slice half of my cucumbers, add the ingredients, and then put the rest of the cucumbers on top so that the fixins are in the middle. Know what I mean? So, losing some cukes. All right, so I'm doing mine about that thick. Logan might do his a little thicker, but I'm doing them thinner. All right, so this is a Lox Everything Bagel inspired recipe, so it's gonna have all the ingredients that you find on that kind of bagel. Beginning with cream cheese. We're gonna use a tablespoon or so cream cheese. This is whipped, so it's gonna be a little bit fluffier, hopefully easier to mix. Add some everything bagel flavoring into that. See that? Put a good amount. Then some capers along with their brine. These are capers, by the way, and they are pickled juniper berries. Add those in there. They add a nice brininess, kind of a sour, salty element. Next, we're gonna add an avocado. This avocado is soft enough. Beautiful. Just cutting that up into little pieces there to make it easy to scoop into my jar. Oops, try to get it into the container, that's helpful. If you don't get in there, you can just pick it up because your countertop is impeccably clean, right? As is your knife. These are my little Tosky knives, by the way. I'll put a link to them down below in case you're interested. Damascus steel, beautiful handmade Japanese knife. See, I still need a knife because I need to cut this into quarters. So I still need a knife. Beautiful red onion, and I'm gonna slice some of that into here. Beautiful. It's kind of like a composed salad a bit, you know? And then some salmon. This is lox. This is smoked cured salmon. Delicious, nice and salty and smoky. Add some of that in there. I'm adding about 2 slices. Most important ingredient in my opinion, MSG. Boom. As Logan says, some MSG, obviously. I'm adding about 1/4 teaspoon. And now the rest of my cucumbers. As we get close to the end, we're just gonna stop. That's good. Whoa, very full. Look at that. It's like a composed salad. Look how beautiful that looks. I almost forgot to add the salt and pepper. The salt will help draw out some of the moisture in the cucumber, which there is a lot of, and that will soften them and make it juicier, you know? Plus, I love lots of pepper. MSG is inherently salty too, so you don't need too much salt, and so is the lox and cream cheese. Okay, now we shake, shake, shake. So there's not that much room in there, but as everything moves around and the cucumbers get squishier, I think it will mix better. You could also do this in a bowl. So we are back after shaking this for probably about 30 seconds. You can see from the sides that it looks pretty well combined, I'm guessing. We will not know till we open it. And we have a pair of chopsticks, which is the preferred utensil of consuming this, apparently. So let's see what it looks like inside. A lot of it's around the edge there, and it does look pretty well combined. Let me scrape it down a little bit. The middle, yeah, it's kind of everywhere. So it doesn't hurt to give a little stir. Apparently you can let this sit a little bit so that everything can kind of marinate and get happy. But it does look kind of combined. Some of the ones at the bottom, maybe not so much, but after a little bit of a stir, it gets in there. I definitely recommend putting the ingredients in the middle so you have a better chance of fixin distribution. You know what I mean? All right, so that's where we're at. That's what we look like on the sides. And let's give this a taste. Let's see if this will convert a non-cucumber lover. Because I love the idea of eating an entire cucumber. I feel like it's a healthy snack. All in a jar, convenient. It's a nice filling meal, snack, not sure. But I don't love cucumbers. Let's see if this converts me. If MSG won't, I don't know what will, to be honest. Here's a bite with pretty much everything. Itadakimasu. Mm-hmm. Whoa. It's good. 100% reminiscent of an everything bagel. You've got all of those elements in there, particularly the red onion combined with the everything bagel seasoning. It's just like bling in my mind. Oh, and the smoky salmon as well, the lox in there. All the indicators of a delicious everything bagel with lox, except it's on a cucumber. Mm-hmm. Mm. 100% what makes this for me is not the process, not the shaking, not the technique. It's the MSG. The MSG just makes this very, very tasty, like addictively tasty. Like there's no reason why I should like cucumbers this much. But I do when there's some delicious MSG in there. Great combination of flavors though too. And it's salty. Mm-hmm. I think what the MSG does for me is that it makes this seem very flavorful, and I just can't get enough of that flavor. It's just flavorful. And for me, cucumbers don't usually do that. For me, it just tastes very vegetal, wet, green. But I do really like the crunch of a cucumber. It's a pleasure. But the flavor I don't usually like. But this flavor combination, onion, great. So much so, I would make it again, and I would try the others, because that is the power of MSG. It's incredible. I use it in my cooking on the regular. Have a little jar of it in my pantry. Love it. As you saw, I have a giant jar of it here because it's so good. All right, can't wait to try the others, because this means I'll eat more cucumbers. And there's cucumber season right now. Thanks, Logan. So the question was, will this make me a cucumber lover? Maybe. I think there's a good chance that the MSG will make me a cucumber friend. Friend of cucumber. Let's go there. All right, my lovelies, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. I love hearing from you. That's how I learn about all this kinds of stuff. And like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo. Take care. Bye. Cucumber. Pretty good.